Hey everybody, it's Steve from I Love Disney and Comics with a little haul here for you. Got some Mad magazines, more of those I bought, and some comics, and a tiny little book that I've had for a while that I figured I'd go ahead and show. So I guess I'll start with that. This is Private Buck, and this is kind of something I picked up just because of the time period that it was printed in. This is just a tiny little comic, or not a comic book, but it's got one scene comic pieces that you might have seen in like the newspapers or something back then. But this is from 1942 or 1943 actually, and it's by Clyde Lewis, and probably about 40 pages long, I guess. So they got about 41 pieces of art. And I got this because just the time period that it's from, and it has to do with the military. I thought this was cool. Just, you know, them complaining about what Army life might have been or was like back then. So just a neat little piece that I found. I think I paid $6 for this. I got this a couple months ago at one of the stores I go to. But pretty cool. So there it is, Private Buck from 1943 by Clyde Lewis. Next, I'm going to go ahead and show you my Mad magazines. I bought 11 of them this weekend, and 2 of them cost me $3. The rest were either $1 or 50 cents. And I figured I'd start out with one of the most important ones. This is Mad Magazine from 1985. This has Rambo, played by Sylvester Stallone, and the great Ronald Reagan on here. 2 people that were the cause of the fall of communism and the tearing down of the wall. Now, I know I've mentioned this on my channel before. This guy right here, not the character, but Sylvester Stallone, is the true reason for the fall of communism. If you've never watched Rocky IV, at the end, when he gives his speech, that speech changed the world. And if you lived through the 80s at that time, you know what I'm talking about. Because if I's can change, and you's can change, we's all can change. And let me tell you, that speech changed the world and brought the end of communism, and it brought down a couple years later the wall in Berlin. If you don't believe me, watch the movie. You'll realize what a piece of historic awesomeness it was. I'm just kidding. I love saying that. I've said it so many times at work and everything. People probably think I really believe that, but I love that speech from Rocky IV. All right, next I've got Mad Salutes the Bicentennial Year. This is from March of '76. Just thought this was a cool cover. Trying to build up some of these Mad magazines that I don't have and get some really cool issues. Next one I have is Mad from January of 1972. Nothing interesting about this other than it's from January of '72, which happens to be the year and month I was born. So thought that would be cool to have. This next one is a Mad Summer Special. I think this is from 1977 or 78. And I actually remember having this. There's a record in here, or that came in these, and it's actually in this copy. So I did get the record. I'll go ahead and open it up and show you what it looks like. If you don't know what these looked like back then when you would get a record and a book or anything like that, they were basically made out of plastic or some type of mylar or something. This song on here is Making Out. I do not remember what it was. And it's a little 33.5 record. So you basically punch this out of the plastic and you put it on your little record player and play it. So it actually had that in there, and this is really faded, but inside, while I was flipping through, I found what appears to be the original receipt from when they bought this in 1977, 78, whenever it came out, which I thought was really cool. But to have that record intact in the book, never punched out, that was pretty awesome, I thought. That one I paid $3 for. Next, I have Mad number 76 from 1963. Not much going on with the cover here, but I did open it up, and it's got some pictures of John Kennedy from 1963, which I thought, JFK, I thought those were pretty cool. Next, I have Mad number 212 from 1980, and I got this one not so much because of the cover, but because it has one of my favorite movies of all time, Alien, a spoof of Alien in that one. Next, I've got number 214 from 1980. Specifically told you not to buy this issue, but I did because it had another horror movie that I liked, the Amityville Horror spoof in that one. Next, if you grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, I'm sure you know who this character on here is. That's J.R. Ewing from, excuse me, from the TV show Dallas. This is number 223 from 1981. And I don't remember how many years Dallas had been on at the time, but JR ends up getting shot. I think it was like the season finale cliffhanger at the time, and they kept you guessing on who actually shot him. And spoiler alert, if I remember correctly, it was his wife, Sue Ellen. Next, I have Mad number 200 from 1978. I got this because it's a great movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Spoof in here, and just a cool cover. And Richard Dreyfuss looks like he knows exactly what's going to happen when he goes up in the spaceship. He looks like he just realized he's about to get anal probed, as everyone does that gets abducted by aliens. I don't know if you've heard this from me before, but the reason that they do it is they have data readers on the end of their fingers, and there's actually data that they read that you poop out. I mean, you poop this data out, but as it comes out, it basically, impacts against your skin on the inside, and they use their fingers to data read these things. And you'd be astounded by the knowledge you could learn. It dates all the way back to the beginning of time, so that's why they do it to us. I don't know if you've ever heard that story, but that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Next, I have Mad number 207 from 1979. This is a spoof on the Animal House. Here comes the last Mad magazine. This is the only other one I paid $3 for. This is from December of 1972, and it is The Godfather, one of the greatest movies of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never seen it, you need to watch it. Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes. That's all I gotta say. So now we'll get into some comics. And let's see. I'm going to get these kind of in order here. I went back to the shop where I got this lunchbox, and I had my wife with me, and she wanted to look at lunchboxes, and she didn't like their prices. She thought they were too high, but she did look around that store and found me 2 comics. She came walking up to me because she knows I like horror stuff. She gave me this copy of Crypt of Shadows number 11. She's like, "You want this?" And I looked at it, and it was, it's pretty beat up, but she cared enough to know that I liked that kind of stuff, so I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And then, just like it was meant to in the 90s, she saw a shiny cover, and she comes bringing this one up to me. She's like, "I think this is a good one. I think you want to get this one." It's the Ray number 1. I think that's from like 1994. Yeah, 1994. And I've never even heard of the Ray. I don't know if you guys have, but I did end up reading that book, and it was interesting. He fights Brimstone in there, and Superboy shows up at the end. But I still, have no clue who Ray is. I've never heard of him before. He may have been around before, but I don't know who he is. So anyway, she was so happy because it was a shiny cover. She's like, this is probably worth something. I was like, nah, baby, that's just how they got you to buy the stuff back then. So they got her. Next couple, I got at my LCS when I picked up my new comics, but this is the Uncanny X-Men number 196. Got that for $2. I don't think I have that one. This next one, I was actually looking for this because I was looking up Blade and Key Collector and just saw this cover and thought it was really cool. This came out, looks like 2007. This is It Takes One to Kill One, Blade, from 2007, part of, I guess, Casualties of War crossover. But it's got Blade on here, and I don't know how well you can see that, but he fights Wolverine apparently in this book, and that is Wolverine's claws going right through his skull. I thought that was a killer book, and I was like, I'm going to see if I can find it. First place I looked, I found it, which was my LCS. They got some cool back issue stuff, so. Speaking of my LCS, I was flipping through a box that they had, and a bunch of stuff they had no prices on, which is unusual. It was up towards the front, and usually they have like keys and stuff in there, and they didn't have any prices on a whole bunch of stuff. And then I came across this, and I knew what it was and why it was this price. So this is Star Slayer number 2, and I got this for $8.10. Really nice copy. That is the first appearance in comics of the Rocketeer, and it's got art by Dave Stevens for the Rocketeer, and I believe this is Mike Grell work for Star Slayer. And then, I was perfectly fine to pay $8.10 for just that, and I didn't dawn on me until I got home. There was a book on the back. And it is Star Slayer issue number 3, which would be the second appearance of the Rocketeer in comics. With, again, Mike Grell's Star Slayer on the front. And just really cool. I got a 2 for 1. I thought that was awesome. But I got number 2 and 3, first and second appearance of the Rocketeer. Up next, you find the other part of this. So I got these all from a like a flea market antique shop where they just have a bunch of little booths with stuff in them. And there was a comic one. Of course, nobody's ever there. And I was flipping through all their stuff. They had, I don't know, about 20 short boxes. And they had a ton of Valiant stuff, which I'm really not into Valiant, but I did happen to pick up these. This is Archer and Armstrong Zero. I guess it's the first appearance of one of those two characters. And then I got Archer and Armstrong number 8, which I believe is the first appearance of the Eternal Warrior. And then something that I liked, all these were from the same little booth. And I think those were $2 each. I can't remember. From the 90s, I was an X-Files guy. I make a lot of fun of aliens and everything, getting abducted and anal probed, but I do like sci-fi, and I was an X-Files guy. And I found this. I thought this was cool. I don't think it's worth anything at all, but I really like it. It's the X-Files number 1 from the Topps Comics series. And I think I got that for $1 is what I paid for that one. And next I got a Dark Horse Presents number 55. I got that basically for the Sin City story and early appearance of the John Byrne's Next Men. I read the first series that have the Next Men in it, and that has like the first color appearance of Hellboy in issue number 21. I got the whole run of the first series on an eBay lot for like $20 a couple years ago, and read all of them. And the only reason I bought it was because it had the Hellboy color appearance, and I actually ended up liking the Next Men. They were pretty cool. But yeah, I did get this one mostly because it's got a Sin City story in it. So I think that one was $1 or $2. And next I got Excalibur number 2. Just thought that's a really cool cover for Excalibur series. And then Excalibur number 1. I think that one was $3. And I was kind of disappointed. It was in a really crappy bag, and I took off the tape, and I thought I had all the tape off. Apparently a little piece got stuck inside, so when I took it out, it actually caught the back cover, and it's got a small little rip on the back cover. It's very tiny, but it did make contact and pull a piece of the cover off. I gotta tell you, I was PO'd because they used crappy tape. So, all right, a couple more here. Last few ones that I have. I was flipping through, like I said, they had 20 long boxes, and they must have had just 20 freaking copies of this thing alone. This is Batman number 497, first appearance of Bane. Newsstand, as everybody likes to point out, but that's a newsstand issue. And like I said, they had about 20 copies. These were all $3. Not worth much anymore, I guess, but I mean, $3 I thought was a great price, so I got that. And I got another one. And I got another one. I left the rest for everybody else, if anybody wanted to get out there and, you know, go pick some up. If I go by again and there's some more there, I'll probably pick up 3 more. I don't mind. I like Bane, and it's his first appearance, and they were newsstand copies, so I thought those were pretty cool. Last book I've got, this is Superman number 19. Superman the Man of Steel number 19, the first full appearance without his armor of I can't even remember his name right. Doomsday. It's even on the cover. But first appearance of Doomsday. I think I paid $2 for this at that little place. And it's a newsstand copy, and it is a beauty, man. This is a gorgeous book. So I think this was a steal, no matter how many of them there are out there. You know, there's a lot, but it's a gorgeous looking book. Nice copy, and a great cover, and great story. You know, story of the ages. Anyway, that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed my antics on here, and leave me a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of what I got. Thanks.